We break it all down. The Vault Studio, the best show in town. Lights on, mic check. Game time, let's go. Jay George, Scotty running the show. Rock on the mix, keeping it tight. NFL talk every day.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vault Studio. I am your host, Jay, and I thought I'd jazz up the intro this week because the other boys have done such a good job. I want to start by welcoming a man who lacks a lot of things, but neck girth is not one of them.
That's true.
Our boy, Scotty.
That is very true.
And then we've got on the ones and twos, the good boy, Brocky, who in a few weeks is coming back from Bali engaged. Not sure who to yet, but I'm sure he'll find him.
We're going to ask him about that later.
Yeah.
And last, but certainly not least, it's Big George, who showed us this week via social media that nipples, in fact, could solve world hunger.
Hey,
check it out on the big screen right now.
Look at that rig. That's a rig and a half.
Welcome to the show. We've got, get on the video because we have got Georgie's new Facebook profile pick up there.
That's 2 years of hard work, everybody.
That's an impressive set. It's an impressive setup.
Read it and fucking weep.
Did you do arms that day or?
Nah, shoulders.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, like, do those nipples take out eyes sometimes in public?
Hey, listen, I'm free for weddings, parties, anything you want. Just link in bio.
It's what this podcast needed, a bit of sexy.
Just link in bio, bro.
So, with all honesty, if you want to see the big Jorge in his full form, check it out, because I'm not going to lie, there was a few dark nights this week that I needed it.
Hey,
and not the Batman movie either.
It's been cold this week.
It's been cold.
Yeah, that's the amazing part. It's been minus 4 degrees and somehow you're still walking around without a shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm here to warm the cockles of your heart, big boy.
Can I ask you one question on your recent photo shoot? Yeah. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Very impressive. Now, I couldn't let it go. I had to make sure.
I've known you 16 years. I know you're not letting nothing go. Keep going.
You couldn't have got a more like professional photo done? Maybe your wife took the photo for you, not in the gym bathroom?
No, you got to get it straight after the pump.
It's straight after, man. This is post-workout, post-pump, blood's pumping.
You couldn't have set up like your phone on the wall.
Raw dog, testosterone fueled.
Yeah,
that's the best time to do it.
But maybe like just put your phone, so your phone's on it, like maybe not in a mirror, like just rest it on something.
Clearly, my strengths and my talents lie in other areas and not in photography.
True. And we're still searching.
But what we can tell from that photo is it's not photography.
Yes.
maybe from that photo we can tell building muscle is probably one of my talents.
That's fair. Yeah, very true.
I just liked in the group chat, you just like on the slide sent a meme, and I was at the beach and I just like,
who's that shirtless?
I was like, nice photo.
Because I apparently my Instagram and my Facebook are linked up somehow, so I changed it on Instagram, not knowing that it would do it on Facebook. And
maybe because they're the same company.
But all right.
It's the same account.
Thanks, Brock.
Social media is not your strength either, apparently.
A bunch of people that I've never spoken to in years just started messaging me randomly on Facebook. Like, who the fuck is this guy telling me about this photo? I didn't realize.
Sexy.
Technology is also not one of my strengths.
No.
You don't need it when you got these guns.
There it is. Well, all the our lady viewership's going to go up about 10,000% this week, I imagine.
From what? From 0 to 1?
Yeah. It'll be sexy. No, it'd be from 0 to 10,000 if we're not. That'd be nice. Be nice for the clicks. That's what we need more. We need some more sexy back.
Well, there you go. If my
get it on Twitter, that's a fucking.
If my shirtless post pump photo doesn't get us viral, or doesn't get us clips, then nothing will.
Get it on. Also, when you're on there, you'll see our Sporting Globe Chirnside Park sponsor logo up in the right hand corner. Amen. You might not notice it with George's photo on the way because it'll draw your eyes, mainly the nipples.
Yeah, the nipple and that delts.
Firm nipples.
The nipple delts. King.
Nipple King, not the liver king, the nipple king.
Or the tiger king.
I've been called worse.
Yeah.
You can milk those nipples, fucking hell.
I've been called worse.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If you already didn't have a good name in the group chat, it would just be called Nips.
Once again, I'm sure somebody out there has called me worse than that today.
Yes, that's fair.
Someone in this room.
That's why you've been here.
Probably. If we wind the tape back, probably.
Our group chat's not for the faint-hearted, that's for sure.
No, it's definitely keeping us all out of heaven.
We're all going to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, we'll start. We got a bit of a fun show tonight. We're going to do some good topics. There's been a lot of, strangely, a lot of news this week.
There's been a lot of good stuff. We're in the doldrums of the off season, there's been a lot of stuff going on.
But George, you've got the first topic, mate, and you've been waiting for this.
We discussed in the group chat this week about we're not going to do a top 10, and I thought, I think about the viewers, I think about the listeners at home, and I think I don't want to deny these people a list because they're waiting bated breath for a list.
They are.
So what I've done the top 5 most
Their breath would be
hated-
heavier after seeing your picture. I'd
Hey,
imagine.
amen to that.
We might need some
Some
resuscitation.
heavy panting.
There'll be some windows fogging up. So,
The Titanic.
yeah. Hey, Kate Winslet, she's still a baddie though, by the way. Just quiet.
All right.
No, she's a swinger. She swings.
So what I thought I'd do is do a top 5 most annoying, most hated media people.
It would have been hard to narrow it to 5.
It actually was.
Yeah.
believe it or not. It was. I started with 15, and I had
ESPN could easily make a top 30.
Oh, Fox. So I got 4 just from Fox. So
Oh.
they could easily.
I swear to God, if
15.
Troy Aikman's on that list, I'm leaving.
Nah, Troy Aikman's a
Nah.
fuckwit.
Troy Aikman's not on this. Let's go to my top 5 most hated American broadcast. For at storming the gates at number 5 is everyone's favorite homewrecker, Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor's takes hit harder than facts ever could, mainly because she ignores them entirely. One day she's dragging athletes for being overrated. The next she's telling a colleague to get over it after they reported workplace misconduct. From discussing dating younger men to being named in lawsuits involving workplace harassment and alleged affairs with her bosses and colleagues. One thing's for sure. Her and that peanut butter skin of hers definitely do their best work, not in front of the camera, but flat on her back.
Just so everyone knows, Jason Whitlock.
Jason Whitlock,
said
call
peanut butter.
shout out Jason
Can
Whitlock.
I just say one on her? How is it just being completely swept under a rug? If that was a man, she would be fired, destroyed,
This is
over.
a bigger cover-up job than the JFK assassination. Mate.
Yeah, it's
Then Area 51, all of it put together, mate. It's crazy. Just disappeared.
all right. Number 4.
Number 4 is Nick Wright.
Only at 4.
Yeah,
We're in for a show.
we got 3 whoppers coming up. Nick Wright's glazing of the Chiefs is so strong. At this point, we're pretty sure he's on their payroll. Or at the very least, he's got a direct line to Andy Reid's Uber Eats account. His love for Patrick Mahomes is second only to the love he has for himself. Mahomes could throw a pick into his own end zone, and Nick would be on air the next day with, actually, it was a high IQ play, and he's playing 4D chess.
It was an arm punt. It was an arm punt.
He's playing checkers. Listen to him talk about the Chiefs is like watching someone passionately defend their kid's latest art project. It's loud, delusional, and deeply committed. It's
Pretty good analogy, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty spot on. Can I say one thing on Nick Wright? Sometimes when the sun's in the right spot and it's hitting the field in a perfect way, I hear him and I'm like,
It's not wrong.
he's okay.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. His Chiefs glazing is unreal, and his Mahomes glazing is unreal. One of his segments is called Mahomes Mountain,
Mahomes Mountain,
where
which I
he's
can't
the top and
stand.
everyone else is below him.
You know, he's never not been at the top.
No,
Mahomes.
because Mahomes Mountain. That's what it's called.
Absolutely disgusting.
But I actually think that a lot of what he does
it's all rage bait.
is for
It's
the
all
rage bait.
It's
Yes.
all it's for.
Yes,
But
I think
he's still very annoying.
Oh yes, very annoying sometimes. But sometimes I see a clip from him and I'm like, yeah.
The
fair
best part was having to watch him eat humble pie after the loss.
when he had all the banners and stuff ready as
all
well.
the banners ready. It was-
And they were trolling. And in fairness to him, copped
He
it
ate
like
it.
an
Yeah.
absolute champ.
He knew he built it up the whole season.
Yeah,
What's
it
he
was
gonna do?
very good. It was
That
very
was like
good.
if we lost, I was going to have to copper from you guys, and I was just going to take it
Never.
on the chin.
Jalen Hurts is in the corner of the room, you
Shut
know?
up.
Hang on, you guys won and you still copper from us.
True. That's actually pretty accurate.
Yeah, it's fair.
To be fair, it's like brought up like it happened yesterday still.
So yeah, wouldn't you?
No.
Well, I'm not,
fuck off.
I'm not going to say like what's the most recent NFL game? Super Bowl.
Number 3.
OTAs.
Number 3. Skip Bayless.
Jalen Milrow.
Skip Bayless's takes are so bad.
Resign. Sorry, go on.
Skip Bayless's takes are so bad they should come with a warning label and a set of earmuffs. The man wakes up every morning, looks logic and truth in the eye, and says, "Nope, not today." If LeBron walked on water, Skip would scream, "Why couldn't he swim? Jordan would have swum." The only thing worse than his takes is his delusion about his beloved Dallas Cowboys. His opinions are so backward and his takes so ridiculously outlandish. At this point, he's not a sports analyst. He's a professional hater with the microphone. Like Brock.
Professional. I think Brock's an amateur hater with a microphone.
How did I get a drive by in this? What the fuck?
Yeah, why fuck me?
What did I do?
I'm just trying to include you, man.
Don't.
Hey, take the shout out.
Number 2, Chris Collinsworth.
I love
Can't
Chris.
stand
Number
him, bro.
2.
Oh,
Chris Collinsworth talks about Patrick Mahomes like he's narrating a romance novel that was written by Roger Goodell himself. Mahomes will throw a 5-yard check
I'm seeing
down,
it.
And Collinsworth will moan, now here's a guy, like he just saw Jesus himself wearing number 15 for the Chiefs. The man could tie his cleats and Chris would call it elite footwork while quietly pleasuring himself in the booth. We're not watching Sunday Night Football anymore. We're witnessing a live televised love letter. He's so far gone, if Mahomes threw an interception, Collinsworth would blame the ball for not understanding greatness.
That's a fucking good line. That's an outstanding
Thanks,
line
bro.
from you.
I came up with that
Not
myself.
understanding greatness. That's
So-
very good.
No surprises to anybody that knows anything about sports media. Number one is Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, absolutely. I can.
Stephen A. Smith's takes are like that one guy at the bar who shouts, "Hey, buddy, let me tell you something," every 5 seconds. Unnecessarily loud, overly dramatic, and somehow always about the Cowboys. Listening to him is like riding a roller coaster powered entirely by caffeine and the hot air from his awful takes. You don't know where it's going, but you're definitely screaming the whole way through. You don't tune in for logical reason. You tune in to watch the chaos unfold like a poorly written soap opera.
Yeah, that's 100% accurate.
Yep.
The Collinsworth ones, you don't like
I like
Collinsworth?
Chris. I like Chris.
Yeah.
I
Creator
can't-
of Pro Football Focus.
I can't handle the
What do you
Mahomes-
think
the
about-
Mahomes glazing?
What
So
if
that's
you?
my top 5. I don't know what you guys think.
What about if Chris Collinsworth's doing a game like Sunday Night Football and Mahomes isn't in it?
Yeah, no. When Mahomes is not in it, he's perfectly acceptable. But when Mahomes is in it, he's insufferable.
Maybe
Can't-
Mahomes
can't.
might be the problem with you.
Oh, I think it's
Oh,
pretty clear.
that was very clear.
I mentioned him like 10 times in my top 5.
I think it's a Cowboys and Chief issue, if anything.
Yeah.
It
No,
definitely was.
Stephen A. Smith. My favorite moment recently is when he got into the beef with
Yeah,
LeBron
I wanted to bring that up, but I thought we'd
and
talk
was
about
like,
it. Yeah.
literally thinks he could fight LeBron.
Oh,
like
it's
was
just-
like staunching up, like if LeBron wants to take it further, we can take it further. And the clips of like showing him boxing and then showing
Yes.
LeBron, it's like LeBron would kill you with his pinky toe.
Yeah.
LeBron is a 6'10"
Like-
super athlete, the elite of the elite.
Maybe one of the best athletes in the history of sport, not
Yeah.
just
Ever.
basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
And you would think you could take him on with you. He punches like a 3-year-old.
And he's also like a 60-year-old man.
He's unbearable. And then when people bring up like his stats from when he played varsity basketball and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
and just
Like,
troll
what
him,
were his stats? What did he average?
like
2 points a game?
1.1 points a game and all this.
Amazing.
It's horrendous.
Yeah.
And it was varsity basketball too, which was
Yeah.
his highest level of sport.
Sure.
He's unbearable. But he gets, the common thing with all these people you've just mentioned, they all get clicks.
They
That's
do.
the bottom line.
They do.
Chris Collinsworth in that list is the only one that I actually think is like
Do
respectable.
you disagree with the Mahomes glazing though?
No, he glazes Mahomes. He loves Mahomes. He loves
Like,
To be
Way
fair,
too
Mahomes was on a trajectory that no one else has almost done before.
Yeah, he was. It's dropped off a little bit now, but
Yeah, it has.
Well,
He's
after
Super Bowl.
last season, yeah,
Yeah.
but still, I mean, he's still 3-2 in Super Bowls in his first
Yeah.
6 years.
The Chiefs have
Yeah.
2 weapons, though.
Who?
Brittany Mahomes' frontal area.
Brittany Mahomes' new flotation device.
all right. Well, that's George's
That's my top 5. So write in and let me know where you agree or disagree.
Yeah,
Please.
absolutely. Tell him where you're wrong. That the first. Just let's not bring it up anymore because we might have to remove it.
No, no.
Hey, you're not the producer of this show.
Pre-show, I asked you, do you want to approve the list? You said no. Go ham for it.
I probably should have approved it. You know what? That's on me. I'll learn from
I
that.
asked you 8 hours ago.
You did.
All right, I did.
There's receipt.
I want that on the record. I want that on the record, Brock.
I wasn't expecting some of it. Some of it was very good. Most of it was very good.
Thank you.
All right, let's get into the actual football stuff. And let's start with 49ers sign Brock Purdy to a monster contract
It's not
extension.
monster. It's about right for what everyone was expecting and talking about what he was going to get is what he got.
I'm glad you said that because when I saw it, I was like, if you want to keep him, that is a fair market rate for what you want to keep,
He's
for what you're paying.
What you said, it's got is he? What is it?
I think it's eight.
highest. Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's about right.
7th, I think.
He's
Yeah.
probably the 8th to 10th, 8th to 12th best quarterback in the league.
Oh, he's
So
probably not, but it's just his time to get the.
He's somewhere in that 8 to 12 range. Like healthy and playing well, he's in that 8
Well,
to
I
12
think
range.
when we did our top 10 quarterbacks, we all had him kind of just outside the top.
He's made
we
2
didn't.
Super Bowls. Like he's a good quarterback. Can't say
It
he's
just
not.
comes down to timing. So he's in the group of. So all right. So the AAV, which is annual
Average annual
no
sorry
value.
value.
So he's tied 7th at
Yeah, okay,
where is it? 53 million a
Yep.
year. Goff's at the same at 53 a year.
See, that's about right.
think
Tua
Goff's much
is
better
at
than
53.1 because someone always has to outdo someone else. So they're all tied together at 6 and 7 and 5. And then he's just above Herbert, where Herbert's at 52.5.
Okay.
So Herbert's a 9th AAV. He's 9th. And I think that Lamar's a 10. It just comes down to when you sign your contract.
Yeah.
And that's the going rate for quarterbacks. Like, is he overpaid for what he is? Sure. But at least we're seeing something where he's getting paid somewhat where his value is. And it's not just every year someone's resetting the market and he goes to 62 million.
Yeah.
That's a
At
good
least
point.
the team's got a little bit of control now. And they're like, hey, you're not worth 62 million. You're not better than Allen and all these other guys that restructured. You're in this group of somewhere near the top 10. This is at the going rate. Bang, there it is. So
Yeah, and when I guarantee you Herbert at some point next season will do an extension.
Yeah, and
his
then
salary will go up.
Lamar as well, and they'll go
Lamar,
up
yeah.
into the top 3 or 4 because they are probably in the top 5 quarterbacks in everyone's list. But
Sure.
the interesting thing is it's guaranteed for 3 years, not 2. So most of the re-signing for contract for quarterbacks at the moment is a huge guarantee up front and then 2 years guaranteed. So he's got the 3 years and no trade clause as well. So he argued that in, and apparently the contract was pretty much done and dusted by this year. So they knew the whole time that he was going to get paid. And
Well, it was reported like not long after the end of the season
Yeah,
that
was-
contract was coming. It was
Yeah.
around the 55 million.
and that's why
mark.
they got rid of Debo and all this other stuff. And like the 49ers, they had the Brandon Ayuk holdout, they had Debo, they had Trent Williams, they had all these like big guys that have held out, and it's sort of sucked up their off-season programs. They get it done early. Brock's there. They're introducing all the huge turnover of players. So they've got their franchise quarterback there for the start of the season. So they've done the right thing.
It's just all dependent on what you think of Brock Purdy. Like, I think Brock Purdy is a good quarterback in a Shanahan system, and he showed that the last couple of years. I think that without him, they're terrible.
Without their weapons, he's terrible.
Yeah, he struggled last year without their weapons, but I think they're really
most
good.
top tier quarterbacks are like that. They need their weapons.
That's not true.
There's a very minimal
they
amount
need
of
They need a good
quarterbacks.
offensive line. They need a good running game to be able to play well. Like, it's very rare that you can just plonk. Like, if you took, like, even unless it's like Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen and you dump them into Tennessee, like every other quarterback apart from those two is going to struggle.
I think that's very fair. And the people are getting upset, like, because so many quarterbacks are obviously getting a high amount of money now. What people need to understand is that the quarterback, we're in a wealth of quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
In terms of like the
the talent level.
lines. Yeah.
There are not many teams that are searching for quarterbacks all the time. There are a lot of good. It seems like a lot more young quarterbacks are more adequate when they enter the NFL.
Yeah.
And it comes down to, I've seen a lot of stuff with John Gruden the last few weeks about his quarterback
So
games and
good,
all
isn't
that.
it?
And they're unbelievable. And one of the things he said, and I want to give him a bit of a shout out for this, is that we've actually had a regression at the quarterback position. Although the on-field play and the way we're doing things, intrinsic skills have regressed because we don't run play action anymore. Teams don't run a lot of play action. Everything is timing and scheme based. Timing and scheme based for an NFL quarterback who are already accurate. Most of them are very accurate. Most of them have good enough arms. Some have better, but most of them that are starting, they've got a good arm. You don't just make the NFL and you don't dominate college and then make the NFL if you've got a crappy arm.
Of course not.
So all of them can
That's
play
why
at
you're a
that level.
5th round draft pick.
100%. And they can all play. They can all play at that level. And the systems of the NFL are becoming more college-like, which is a lot more quarterback-friendly. And what we're seeing now over the past 5 or 6 years is a real. People are thinking that the quarterback position is getting a lot better. It's just that coaches are getting a lot better at working with a less caliber quarterback.
Sure.
Teams are getting better at going, well, we don't have Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, whoever you want to say. We've got this guy. Let's work and build around him on what we can do.
And magnify his
They're
strengths.
They're
100%.
raising the floor of all these quarterbacks coming in.
Perfect
And-
point.
and-
The
and
floor's high.
while protecting his weaknesses as best as we can, which is what every good coach should be doing.
Which is
Well,
what-
Sirianni's done it.
Yeah, which is
every good coach should be doing it.
Oh, that's a cheap shot.
Say what you want. but
he's right behind you. He almost fell on and killed Sadie last week. So he
So
might.
go-
We
fall
don't
on
need to
you.
revisit this.
going back to what you're saying before about Purdy and what you think of him, What we think of him is kind of irrelevant.
It's
because-
100% irrelevant.
because in the building, they love him. Shanahan loves him. Shanahan's offense is not the easiest offense to understand and execute. There's a lot of verbiage
Well, it is
and a lot of
because
things
half the
going
team
on.
runs it.
But
No, it is.
half the league
It's got
runs
some
it.
challenge. A lot of like Jimmy Garoppolo failed, Trey Lance failed.
Jimmy Garoppolo got him to a Super Bowl.
not due to him. He was much worse than Brock Purdy.
Oh, I think
Much worse.
Jimmy failed because he was injury prone.
Jimmy
I think-
failed because he was too busy rooting porn stars. We all know that.
And
Shout
you
out.
wouldn't? You wouldn't?
No, but
I wasn't. That wasn't
Shout
a
out.
slide. That wasn't a slide on his career.
shout out.
No,
That should be on
I
his Hall of
think-
Fame plaque.
I think on your point and where I think it is it's harder to get that guy. No one's trading quarterbacks. That hasn't happened in 10 years where
Mm.
Peyton Manning just leaves. These guys stay at their club until they're washed.
Mm.
Yeah, well,
Or-
like if guys leave, it's the Russell Wilson situation or Aaron Rodgers
He
where
was
they've
done.
left.
He was
Where
done.
they've left, and it's already too late.
It's clear
Yes.
he's on the down. Yeah.
The only time these quarterbacks leave is a team gives up on them too early and they're a rookie and they float around a little bit in your Geno Smiths, your Bakers, and all
Baker,
your Darnold
Baker's
last
perfect
year.
example,
Yeah.
Those guys and they get a resurgence. So I think that they go, well, you can't get one in the draft. We need to win now. We have to pay him the going rate. We
Yep.
can't get anyone else.
That's 100% the thing.
And,
Like,
and that's what it is. You got given that guy and you have to work with him. And we can argue till the cows come home, but he's going to be somewhere in the top 10 to top 15. And he probably got overpaid.
And the thing is, he can
10 to 15, not
I
top
disagree. I disagree. I don't think he's gotten overpaid because he's proved he can run Shanahan's system.
yeah, I
And
think he was paid
Shanahan-
adequately.
Shanahan's system is proven that when you've got talent around him and the system is executed properly, you can win. You can make a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Like that's fucking good. They've
Yeah,
made two
but
Super Bowls.
I would
Yeah.
argue any of the top 12 quarterbacks. All right, take the absolute elite ones out. So you take Lamar, Mahomes, Allen.
Prescott.
No. Say you take
We're
those.
trying to have a serious discussion.
Sorry,
now,
my bad.
So
mate.
you
That's on me. That's on me. It's
You
my
take those three absolute elite quarterbacks out. Anyone through from 4 to 10 would run that system far better.
Yes, I agree.
They're a way better talent.
But this is the thing, though: supply and demand.
Don't
They can't
have it.
get. They
That's the
can't get
point.
any
No,
of those guys.
I know,
That's the
but
point.
so when we're arguing, oh no, but he's a top 10 quarterback. No, he's a top 10 quarterback in a very good system that's QB safe.
Yep.
But if you have a Herbert running that, I'm telling you, they're scoring 60 points every game.
100%.
You have Jordan Love running that, they're scoring 60 points.
Yep.
Geno Smith is more capable.
I think Geno Smith's a better quarterback. Over the last couple of years, he's been a
Yeah.
better quarterback. Than
So like that was where my argument was going.
But he's your guy. He's in the building. He knows the scheme.
yeah, you have to do it. You have
Coach
to do
loves
it.
him. You have
Yeah.
to do it.
There's only two questions the 49ers had to answer. Do we want to keep him?
Yes.
Obviously, yes.
Yep.
What's the market rate? It's around this, and they paid it. I
Yeah.
think they paid the market rate for a franchise quarterback that you want to keep.
Yep.
Simple as that. And if
Spot
he'd hit free agency, everyone would have been paying that money. There would have been, not everyone,
Actually,
but
I don't know.
a lot of teams would have paid
Who?
that money.
The Saints? The Saints and Pittsburgh are the only teams that need a quarterback. Everyone else is set for their quarterback for the next year or two.
You reckon the Browns, if they didn't have...
Oh, sorry, and the Browns.
I'm
Sorry,
saying
the Browns.
if there's no money situation, if everyone's got even cap and an even play at it, Tennessee'd want him, New York would want him.
Tennessee aren't having him over Cam Ward.
They might want him for a year and just sit Cam
Absolutely
Ward.
not.
If he's
You don't get a
available,
number
there
one
are
pick.
so many teams that would want him.
Cam, yeah, okay. The only
There's
way
a theory that if the Tennessee Titans could have got him, they might not have even drafted Cam Ward. They might have just said, we'll just take Purdy at $52 million and we'll take Abdul Carter.
Mm.
Or we'll trade
that's
back.
a different conversation.
It is. It's
but
different. I'm saying
but
if
I'm just
all things are
saying-
even, there are plenty of teams that would want Brock
It-
Purdy.
I'm saying if he hit the market right now,
He'd pair beautifully
Tennessee-
with Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota.
Yep.
Pair beautifully.
yeah, but they've got their rookie. There's only 3 or 4 teams that are searching for a quarterback. Everyone else is happy with.
I guess that goes back to your point about
Yeah.
everyone's got a quarterback.
We're in a girth of, we're in a Scotty's neck of wealth
And
right
shoulders.
now.
Don't forget the shoulders.
So, yeah,
And
sorry,
traps.
sorry, I don't mean to. Sorry, and nipples.
Yeah.
I don't want to
And
leave you
nipples.
out
I
of
think,
this.
I think I got you covered for shoulders.
Yeah.
We saw that before.
And nipples, you haven't covered.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I've seen both.
So is this a brilliant
Do we need to
segue
bring up
into
legs?
Niners extending Fred Warner?
Yes, and then the Niners double down and go and make Fred Warner again the highest paid linebacker
So this is his third
in
contract
the
now.
league. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Look, I really like Fred Warner. I think he's the best
Stud.
linebacker in football.
Stud.
I don't have a lot of issues with them re-signing him. I don't have a lot of issues with the money. In fact, this extension saved them cap space because they backloaded
Backload
it.
it.
He's
Can
going
you
to
get
be
the AAV
he's still going to be a really, really good player in 2 years' time when this contract starts to get higher.
Yeah,
And-
and, then
and-
they'll
and
kick
then-
it down the road again.
100%. And then other linebackers will be starting to chase him to earn that
Yeah.
money as well. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
I like we shat on the Bengals a couple of weeks ago about not doing this sort of thing. The 49ers are doing, they're getting guys early enough that they're not having to, like, there was no off-ball. Like the off-ball linebackers that signed in free agency didn't get near the money Fred Warner goes.
Yeah.
Like if they wait another year and some big name linebacker hits free agency, like
probably like a Roquan.
yeah, like
probably gets
Roquan
re-signed.
Smith,
I thought it was similar
Well, he's
money to
out.
Roquan.
it's similar to Roquan.
Kuromora's out.
He's out for the year. Yeah.
Roquan's a little bit more. Roquan's 100 mil.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like they've got him at the market value and they've locked him down for a couple more years. So they don't have to have this conversation in another year's time.
Yeah.
I just don't, I think Fred Warner's such a good football player. These are the guys you pay.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
But yeah, I think like the 16 to 18 is the absolute, like the elite limit. And we're still waiting to see what the AAV is for the breakdown.
What was Fred? I should have put what Fred Warner's contract was, the extension. Brock's finding it now.
Yeah. Normally they're pretty good with their signings and keeping their guys in the building. I think just, obviously hindsight's beautiful, but if they had their time again, they'd probably rethink that Ayuk.
Ayuk was a terrible move. But
Well, to be fair, it was a fine move before he did his ACL.
yeah, was it terrible because of the injury? Because he wasn't playing well with injury either.
So
Like,
it's 63 million for 3 years, so it works out to be 21 million a year. So he got 5 mil a year. What the Ernest Jones and who was the other inside linebacker that re-signed this year?
Zach Bourne,
yeah, Zach Bourne.
Yeah.
Zach Bourne I think he got 19.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just upped it a little bit. He's a better player than both of them. So,
True.
that's fine.
He'll-
Kick the money down the road. Their window, they can, they can still go all in this year, and he's locked up for 3 years. Perfect.
Well, they also, you've got to remember, Trent Williams, he's playing one more year only.
Yeah.
This will be his last
This
season.
is
sure.
100% his
Yeah.
last season.
Yeah.
So that's 30 million you'll get back instantly at the end of this year.
Yep.
So there's your Purdy money basically back from what you're paying him.
True.
Cap's
Well,
probably going to go up.
That much,
Cap's
Cap
probably
will
going to
go
go up
up.
20 million.
So you'll get 50 million back at the end of this year if you're the Niners. So it's the right time to sign a couple of. They did Kittle a few weeks ago as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
who's now the highest paid tight end. People go, well, they've got too many. They're top loaded. That's the NFL. The NFL is top loading star players and playing with rookies and fringe players.
Yep.
That is what the NFL is.
and trying to find the occasional like diamond in a rough.
100%. Those 1 year deal sort of guys that come in and dominate, and then you decide if you want to keep them.
Like Zach Bourne,
like
perfect example,
Zach
yeah.
Bourne, they kept. Sam Darnold, Vikings didn't because
Yeah.
they had the rookie and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, well,
it's just situational. Yeah. Just situational on it. So that's kind of how they roll. I actually can't hate on the 49ers off season.
No, you couldn't. Why?
They've got the easiest schedule in the NFL next year.
Yeah.
Is that
Based
right?
on
Is that right?
Yeah,
easiest
yeah.
schedule in the NFL.
They got
Now-
the most rest as well.
Most rest.
So they got
weeks.
the easy opponents and the most rest.
Yeah, they got looked after pretty comfortably.
Bounce back revenge season.
I think
That's
so.
what happens when you finish last in your division, though.
You
That's
do.
true.
You do always get like you
And-
look at the top 10 easiest schedules.
And the weak
Most of them
NFC.
were and the weak NFC. NFC, you mean the Super Bowl champion NFC? Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Still weak.
NFC is the goats, boys.
Yeah.
Stuff the AFC. They can't get it done.
He forgets that we beat them.
Mate, the only
on the
thing,
road
the only
as well.
thing, the AFC have to purely rely on Patrick Mahomes to win them the game win them a Super Bowl every year. No other team even competes for it.
Sure.
It's like I've already actually penciled in Mahomes being in the Super Bowl next year. It's just the NFC that's up for grabs
Chiefs
now.
doing nothing.
So I can wear my shirt again.
Yeah, you can wear your shirt, big dog. Wear a shirt. I'm like George. All right, next one.
Don't be a hater.
I'm not hating.
Don't be a
I'm
hater.
appreciating what you
Don't be a
gave
hater.
me.
Come to the gym with me, bro. You're so.
I don't
you
want
are.
to.
Oh, okay. No,
Scotty's
you don't.
coming Sunday.
Well, we should film some content.
I'll be
Oh.
coming a few times before then too.
Hey,
Can I come and film content?
Absolutely, you can.
Am I allowed to troll you guys though?
No, no trolling.
Yeah, you
It's
can
all
jump in
positive vibes
in
only.
between our sets and then
Yeah,
we can
GYG.
film that too.
Positive vibes only, man.
That'll be good. Like we're gonna do the comp. We should do a comp.
You can rack it and unrack our weight if you want.
I don't think I've had a lift.
Probably not.
I need to-
that could be your workout.
Brock, can you come help me? I need to rack some.
Right.
Too early.
Derek Henry.
Brock's been training too.
Yeah, Brocky, give us just insights on Derrick Henry, mate.
Very happy with it. Very, very happy with it.
Do you,
I'm
I'm scared.
Couldn't disagree more.
Nah, I'm happy with it. I like it.
Couldn't disagree more.
I'm scared by it.
You say why you think it's a really good signing.
It's a tough one, but I'm happy with Derrick Henry coming back. I think the money's the right amount as well. We haven't overpaid him completely because another team would have overpaid the shit out of him if we let him go.
Yeah, the Titans would have bought him back on too much money. No, here's my thoughts.
He's a good piece to our run game as well. It's not all we're not handing the ball
Why
30
don't you like it?
times.
Why don't you like it?
I just don't like a fully guaranteed 2 year at 20+ million for a 30-year-old quarter.
2-year extension. So
Yes.
it's now he's got next year already, and then 2 more years fully guaranteed after. I think it's risky.
it hurts the cap. And Derrick Henry's a stud Hall of Famer, and I'm not going to mean any disrespect, but you can't take that punishment for that long and not wear down eventually. And I think that they've looked at their recent success and gone, we need him. He's a crucial piece. They didn't they didn't do anything in the draft for it, where there was a loaded draft for running back. So a smart team could
That's a
have
good point.
foreseen this,
That's a good point.
got a stud running back cheap, and just whatever treads left on the
Our
tires.
running back room's already pretty loaded as well, though.
With who?
Keaton Mitchell.
I do like
Justice
Mitchell,
Hill.
but Mitchell's an injury prone guy as well.
We had one injury,
Justice Hill. One bad injury, but Justice
and he came
Hill,
back last year and he was still pretty good.
Justice
after
Hill
that
is not. He's not a
He's not loaded.
quality NFL running back.
No, I like
He's
him.
fine. He's fine.
He's quick. He gets out. He gets out in routes.
All right, we're going to
He's a
clearly
safety
get a nerf
blanket.
here.
Nah,
Do you need some tissues, bro?
I'm looking at.
Are they happy tissues or sad tissues?
He's going to be 32 when the contract's kicking in.
No, I think he's 32 now.
He's 31 now. He'll be
31.
32 next year.
yeah.
So 32 when the contract kicks in. Sorry.
Yeah, so 32 when the contract kicks in, and it's 22 or 20, whatever it is, over 20 million a year guaranteed. I just don't like it because history will tell you that he will break down.
doesn't
He
work.
won't be the player he used to be, and he's coming off a season where he was a borderline offensive player of the year. I understand all of that, but I just the foresight for what could happen.
Yeah, I think you're saying like the end comes quick for those kind of players.
Oh,
And I
he's
agree
just
with
a
you.
punishing running back.
I hope we're sitting here in 3 years and going, how is Derrick Henry still doing this?
I
Because I
agree.
love watching him play football.
I agree.
And I think he's a great player. But you're right. History tells us that these deals don't work. And that I'm just with the Ravens this offseason. I like some of the stuff they've done. Don't get me wrong. I liked their draft. The Harbaugh re-signing, which I was like, I get it. They're re-signing him because you want to keep him in the building, but you
I
kind
think
of
it was
want
more so about just keeping
keeping
so
the-
there's no murmurs in
keeping the
locker room,
calm.
personally,
Keeping the calm. And then this
You
move
got
feels
Tugger.
like, you got old Juzzy Tugs that
Shout
can't
out.
keep it in his pants worse than Deshaun Watson. And then you've got this signing now that I'm like, are they just hedging their bets a
This is
little
an
too hard?
This is an all-in season for them, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I
And-
think if it doesn't work out this season, it could be
Heads are
Harbaugh
rolling.
gone.
It will be. It will
Yeah,
be.
I think
I just hope Henry doesn't fall off a cliff. I hope. Like, I genuinely don't
Yeah.
want him to. I'm
No,
not saying,
no
but
one
history
wants-
tells us it
But
will.
the point is, Scott's right. It will happen. It's just a case of when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's in 3 years' time.
It's not an if. It's a when.
Hopefully, it's in 4 years'
Did they
time
have
when
to-
he signs back with some shitty team like the Jets, and it happens then.
Did they have to do the 2 years fully guaranteed?
Well, I'm
He's
still-
got a very good age.
Saquon Barkley's 2 years, 41 million,
Yeah, what's the
36.
age difference?
He's much and he's
A year, a year and a half younger.
and he's better as well.
A year and a half younger, so the length of the contract.
No,
how
but
old's Saquon?
Saquon's 28 now.
So he's 3 years.
2 years younger.
2 years.
Yeah.
And,
I'm looking at the
2.5
months here as well.
years.
Yeah.
and he does, the way he runs is not like that power back where he's running through people. He's much more an elusive back. Like
Henry's been an anomaly for the NFL. Like,
Yes.
I thought
Henry's
he was gonna
very
drop off
elusive.
2 years ago.
Henry's also very elusive.
Okay, bro. We're talking football
Is
here.
he very elusive?
Yes.
You think Henry's very
He's
elusive?
definitely a punishing style
That's-
running back.
He's a,
He's
in
a
a-
one cut hit it running back,
Yeah.
which is fine.
No,
he's
he's-
very good at it.
Yeah, he can shake and bake a little bit, but he doesn't make his
Nah,
money
he's
by
not-
doing
he's
that.
not shaking.
How often does he make a safety miss in the open field,
He's-
bro?
very often.
I would
He
say
had
he
2
just-
80-yard touchdowns this
He
year.
just outruns.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
Anyway.
the point I'm trying to make is that did they have to guarantee both years? They could have just like 2-year extension, 1 year guaranteed.
If they'd
Probably
guaranteed 1 year and then the next year was half guaranteed or no guarantee, I'd be
guarantee.
fine with that.
That's
Yeah.
probably would have been the better
Yeah, it's
option.
just a little,
I
a little
don't know about guaranteeing both years.
And I'm not arguing he's not important for the team and he didn't make the whole team work. I'm not arguing
he
that.
did.
It's a fantastic football fit. They're one of the best rosters, and purely because of him, he unlocked that aspect of the roster. But it's just the foresight for me, and I think it's actually a terrible signing.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
Yeah.
I'm worried. I hope it works.
Terrible is strong, but I don't disagree with you.
It's a little whiskey. A little
Yeah.
whiskey.
Little Jamison.
Little
I don't know.
little Jamison.
I don't know. Just paying 33-year-old Derrick Henry with all the tread gone on the tires, 25 million the second he walks into the building is just
I don't think anyone would have been upset with him if next year he has a really good year and they're like, thanks. We didn't like, whether they win a Super Bowl, don't win a Super Bowl, or whatever it is. Let's just say they win a Super Bowl next year and Derrick Henry was a big reason of it. And they go,
Off in the sunset.
thanks,
see you
mate.
later,
Thank
yeah.
you very much. We've got a couple of young running backs we like. Appreciate what you've done.
Or
You're,
you
you're
bring
now
him
a
back
Super
on
Bowl
a
winner.
12
you
million.
can come back on a 1 year, $80 million fully guaranteed.
what
deal.
you just go, all right, we'll pay the highest the highest salary for a running back for this year, fully guaranteed. Bang, there it is.
Yeah,
1 year.
another 1 year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you can go and play for the Browns.
Yeah.
Or the Jets.
Yeah.
Or the Titans if you want to go back, because they'll still be shit probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? Or I think Jackson are looking for a running back. Off you go.
Uh,
Dan.
he's
And
the
if
answer, right?
and
Yeah,
on the
take
other
it.
side of that, on the other side of that coin, if they don't win, which is probably the more likely scenario, just like off percentages.
Oh yeah,
If
absolutely.
they don't win, then it's going to be a little bit of a mini reset there anyway. Like
Yeah.
coaching wise, roster.
Oh, we've already argued the
That's what I'm
coaching.
saying.
Yeah.
So like, it's probably that's what I'm saying. It would have been a better fit to do that. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
absolutely. All right, let's go on. Talking about guys who haven't earned a contract. Nick
I'm
Sirianni
not fucking having
gets a
none of this.
contract.
I'll fucking fight the lot of yous.
No, tell us
Hang
why.
on, no,
Why
no.
is you were going to find you hated Nick Sirianni start of last season?
So a lot of water has gone under the bridge between now and then.
Yeah, a Super Bowl. It's a big boat of water that's come
It's
under,
a huge,
like a tsunami that's come under.
We referred to Titanic before.
The Titanic.
Yeah.
The Titanics come
So-
through the building. Yes.
I've just got a couple stats here. In his
Why?
first,
Okay. Why do you
Actually,
get them?
can I say the Titanic's actually the perfect description for Nick
it's
Sirianni
going to sink
because at some point he is going to hit a glacier.
yeah, but
Can I
all coaches get fired, bro.
Mm,
can I fly the flag here
yeah.
unexpectedly?
Oh, God.
We all hung Sirianni and threw him to the wolves when everything turned to shit and it was all his fault. He can't control the locker room. How come he can't get the praise when they were the best
That's
ran team?
Exactly what I was going to say. Thank you.
The best ran team. They were a juggernaut, and
Mhm.
they've got all the personalities. You got Slay, you got AJ Brown, you got Chris Carter, you got Jalen Carter, you've got fucking who's the spastic quarterback?
Can you pick it?
Hurts.
Hurts. You've got all these different personalities. Didn't hear a whimper.
No,
Thank
we
you,
did.
Scott.
There
Thank
was
you, Scott.
no.
Didn't
There,
hear a
I'm not
whimper.
talking
there was
reason.
whimpers all year.
No, there
It's
was.
just that they
Yes,
started
yeah.
winning.
No, there wasn't.
Yes, there was.
Post the press. Shut up, Brock.
AJ Brown fucking complained 4 games in.
Yeah, no one said nothing. No one said nothing.
No, there was a
AJ
fight
Brown
on
was
the
sitting
sideline
on the
with
side.
Jalen Carter,
And
which
all we were
happens.
doing.
That happens every game.
I know.
Let's
There
be
was also
every-
what about the head shaving incident when he was fighting
That
the
was
crowd?
week 4.
Post head shave. That was week 4.
Okay, so
Week
how do
4.
we know when they? Do you know what? Do you know what the narrative is with Sirianni for me? I actually praise Sirianni for what he did last year. He buttoned it up and shut the fuck up, and it was great. But it's really easy to button it up when you're winning. My concern is if things start to go a little bit awry for Nick Sirianni,
But-
it's the same as it's same as
Yeah, but
it's
if
as
you're gonna say
volatile
that-
as the Harbauer
If you're
signing.
going to say that about Sirianni, you have to say that about every coach.
Yeah, so why extend him then?
Because-
That's my point.
Because he'd been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years and won one and was a shitty call away from winning a second.
All right, if they
Yeah.
don't re-sign him, what happens?
Well, you re-sign him at the end of the year. If everything's going well, you re-sign him then.
But it's a coach.
not
You just
leaving.
fire him at the end of the year.
Yeah, but that's this, and this is the real
Why
issue
would you-
with coaching.
How could
is
you
that-
not? Why would you not re-sign him if you're Philly?
Why would you not
owner-
re-sign him? Go back more than 12 months and tell me why you wouldn't re-sign him.
They were coming off as
Because you
Super Bowl.
didn't want to re-sign him, and they were in a Super Bowl and lost on a shitty call, and you still didn't like him.
Yeah.
you hated the guy when they had that awful season in between, which could very likely happen again. Sorry, very likely is unfair. Could happen again.
Yeah, but
Like
it could.
the
They
NFL's tough. The
But they could
NFL's
just
tough.
as easily win 13 games.
100%. But the NFL's tough. What if he falls apart? What's the point? We've seen that when he's at his worst, he's genuinely a bit of a dickhead, right? At his
And
worst,
we've seen when he's at his best, the team goes on a Super Bowl run.
with great coordinators.
Yeah, but you can say that about every fucking team.
No, you can't. You can't say about every team. You can't say every other team's success was turned on good coordinators. Their first success in the Super Bowl was because of 2 coordinators that left. Then they bottomed out and sucked. They got 2 experienced coordinators in, and then were good. You could.
Correct.
It is easier to argue that Nick Sirianni's success is based on the coaching staff that was around him more than him personally.
No, I think it's a collaborative effort. I think he's
I think
the
you could make
glue.
that argument for almost every successful NFL team.
I 100% agree with Scott.
Andy Reid, you make that argument for him because
Because
he's had like
Spags,
5.
you think
different-
Spags is not a really
Yeah,
good
but you-
DC?
Yeah,
and that's an
that's
unfair,
He's an
but
old
that's
head
an
coach.
Fair comparison too.
Why?
You're comparing Nick Sirianni to fucking Andy Reid. Andy Reid's the best coach ever.
Yeah,
You can't compare the two. You can't. You just can't.
can because they're both coaches. So that's how comparison
Yeah, but
works.
there's-
It's a different
levels-
tier of
There's
coach.
levels to this shit, bro.
Yeah, I understand that.
There's
I
levels.
just don't. I don't see the point of it.
I think-
I also don't care. Like the money you pay a coach means nothing. Their NFL teams are so rich. At the end of the next season,
Sure.
if he's an idiot, they can fire him anyway. It doesn't
Is,
matter.
is Nick Sirianni knocking on the door with Belichick and fucking Andy Reid? No, he's clearly not. Like, but has he benefited from being in a great situation with an amazing owner, probably the best GM? Well, he is the best GM
In football right now,
football
100% he
now,
is, yeah.
for sure. And an amazing roster that he's assembled, talent everywhere, great line coaches, great coordinators. Of course, he's benefited from all that, but you could say that about all coaches.
So
I think Sirianni's strengths though, and where the NFL is changing a little bit though, he's a very good player coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, the players love him.
The play, like you don't really, you
Well,
don't get the-
he didn't get fired because the players liked him so
So,
much the year before.
like
fairness.
you can argue the technician side of it all, and that's fine. Like that, we're going to go in a roundabout conversation for hours about that. But like, okay, the year before last, that they had a massive meltdown, and he was on the hot seat. Fair enough, because they were a good team, and they
Also, at
flooded.
one point we were 10. Sorry, Scott. At one point in that season, that Milltown, we were 10-1.
Yes,
that's
what I'm saying.
even scarier.
Yeah.
With how
So,
badly
like,
it went after.
Right, it did go badly, but the
and
point is
he was on the hot seat.
Yep.
And then he started off the season a little bit shaky, but you like the whole NFL is what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, it's fair.
So like it doesn't matter what you did 3 years ago. It's what have you done for me lately?
also,
And
that's also a great song by Janet Jackson. Just so you know.
okay, I've seen her titty once.
we all saw it, Scott.
Do you want to tell you a fun story about that?
Oh no,
That
no! We
star-
don't need to know about
That
teenage JA.
star would not have covered George's nipple. Would have pinged up and taken the layout.
Well, it wouldn't have covered my bicep either.
Check out the photo at the start of the
That
episode.
would have been a shooting star for sure.
No, but the NFL is a what have you done for me lately? And
Yeah.
all he has done has, after a
Win.
mini shaky period at week 4, week 5,
One.
dominate the NFL.
Yep, that's fair.
So why do you not lock him up?
I'm just playing a bit of devil's advocate here.
Yeah, but
In his first, his
You-
record
you
in his
say
first
that
4
you want-
seasons.
hang on. You say that you re-signed John Harbaugh because you want the stability in the locker room and all that, but then you don't want it for the Sirianni?
No, I don't think Sirianni has the same stability. I think comparing John Harbaugh and Nick Sirianni is
No,
as
but I'm just
bad as
talking about the
comparing Andy Reid and
extensions.
Sirianni.
Just
I bet
the
if you pull-
extensions for the two.
I
You're
bet if
saying
you pull up their records, it'd be pretty similar.
I think they win. I think
I think
Sirianni's
Sirianni's
got a
record would be better win
Yeah.
loss,
Yeah,
but
it would be.
like times the power. I think Nick Sirianni is Mike Tomlin, but just a bit more volatile.
Don't get me wrong. I think Sirianni is a loose cannon, but
Yeah.
to say that he doesn't deserve an extension is like a little bit far-fetched
Oh, no,
because all he's done is
I don't think deserve is the right move.
Well, you put earns in inverted commas.
Yeah, because I don't think he earned it. I think everyone else around him earned it for him.
Nah, that's
I think he is
I'm
much like our boy Jalen Hurts.
you're trying to sell
He
it.
is
And I ain't buying it.
reaping the
Nah,
benefit
I'm not buying that
of
either,
a
forget
dominant team,
it. Nah, you can stick
and they're
that-
both getting paid based
plenty
off. it.
of
Stick it-
dominant teams don't win Super Bowls.
you can stick it
Yeah, I
straight
know
in the
that,
toilet,
and he's
because I
lucky
ain't
enough
buying
that he did. So he's
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. You said why I said he earned it in inverted commas. I don't think he was. Maybe he was 5% of what the Eagles
No.
earned last year.
No,
I think the coordinators and the
that's-
team and then how
No.
he did
James,
was the thing.
for a
No.
guy that knows an exorbitant amount about football,
What?
that's complete
Okay.
nonsense.
So then how come the year before when they fell apart, Nick Sirianni was the problem, and the year before when they won, it was, and then you lost the coordinators. That was his, oh, he lost his 2 good coordinators. Like you can't be like, oh, he lost his good coordinators, then he got 2 good coordinators back, and now he's good again. He clearly, great players coach. The players seem to like him. Great. That doesn't mean he's a good coach. I think fine, he's earned it from putting himself in a great position and knowing where his bread's buttered and getting what's the defensive coordinator's name? Not Spagnuolo.
Fangio.
Fangio and getting Callum Moore. And I have my thoughts on Callum
Oh,
Moore. We all know that. I don't love Callum Moore that much.
How he signed those guys?
Exactly. That's what I mean. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying he didn't really earn it that much. A year ago, he was on his deathbed.
Right.
The players saved him. And then Howie hiring 2 good coordinators because they literally said to him, if you're coming back,
But they also-
we're hiring 2 new coordinators. Fuck you. We're taking over and putting these guys in place.
But
So he didn't earn it. He allowed himself to
he's-
stay
how
in this
many
situation.
coaches in the NFL could survive both your coordinators leaving and then getting hiring subpar coordinators?
A lot have. Andy Reid does it every year.
Okay, Andy
Bill
Reid's the
Belichick did
exception.
it for a decade. We
You
lost
can't compare.
coordinators
You-
non-stop.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
He had Snake McDaniels for most of his career.
Yeah, and then when he left, McDaniels fell apart. That's what I'm saying. When he left, McDaniels fell apart.
Yeah.
And then came back and they were good
So
again.
your comparison for Nick Sirianni is the 2 best coaches in history.
Well, yeah.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Yeah,
That's how
an unfair
comparisons work.
It's
All
not
right,
a fair
Harbaugh.
comparison.
Harbaugh loses coordinators every year and still competes. McDermott at the Bills loses coordinators every year because they get poached.
Yeah.
You know, every good team gets their coaches poached.
Yes.
Some survive better, some don't. All I'm saying is Nick Sirianni lost 2 good coordinators. They both went head coaches. Great, that's fine. They sucked for a year. They fell apart without him. And then he got two new ones that Howie, as you said, Howie went and got them for him with basically the rule was we're going to fire you unless you let us bring these guys in. And he went, cool, bring him in. And now he's got an extension based off what Howie did. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it if I was the Eagles. You keep continuity in the building. You re-sign guys. He's a player's coach. I get all that.
5%'s a bit harsh.
But I just don't think he earned it.
5%'s harsh.
All right. 10%.
Oh,
what do you
no.
want from? What do you guys think is percentage of how he earned it this year?
25 to
35.
35, 25 to
All right, fine.
35%.
25%. Then he's
15.
Oh.
All right. Let's agree in the middle at 20.
Brock, the professional hater, 15.
All
Brock's
I'm
trying
saying
to justify a fully guaranteed
all I'm
contract
saying is
for a 30-year-old running back.
everyone hated him 12 months ago.
Yeah.
And now he's the bell of the ball.
And you have said it best many times on this podcast, winning cures
Winning
everything.
cures everything. Yeah.
His
that's
record
fair.
in his first 4 seasons is 48 and 20
Yep.
in the regular season.
Yep.
6-3 in the playoffs.
Yep.
2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 Super Bowl ring. That is not
Pretty
a bad little resume.
It's hard to win games.
So,
in the NFL.
do you think he's your coach in 5 years' time?
No,
There it is. That's why.
No.
That's why I don't like it.
What?
but he's not under contract.
Who's
for 5
the
years.
Cowboys coach in 5 years' time?
Oh,
Yes, he's under contract for
No.
5 more years.
It shouldn't.
It's a
Dion.
It's a
Who knows at this
Dion's
point?
running. You've paid us.
That's an unfair comparison.
I just want to clarify with Brock. It's a 2-year extension or a 3-year extension.
Let me look now. He's
Three-year,
only,
I
he's
think
only
it's 3-year
lasted
extension,
5.
and he's got 1 more year left. So he's got 4 more years.
4 more years, yeah.
So you
That's
think
what I understood.
you think he's still the coach?
I don't think he plays out the contract, to be perfectly honest.
Well, not many coaches.
Not
do.
many, but that's my point. It's not about him. Not many coaches do.
No.
Like,
No, that's just
and
my
to say
point.
that-
I'm just saying
and
that
to
everyone
say that,
hated him,
like-
and now they're back on him again.
And to say that, he's just a product of his talent. Like, there's a lot of coaches throughout history
Yeah, Mike
that have
Tomlin, and I've
made
bagged
their
him too.
name on talent around them. Like, you even go back through history. Belichick, he wouldn't be the player, he wouldn't be the coach he is without Brady.
No, that's fair.
It's as simple as that.
Very fair.
Like, go back a further generation. Bill Walsh, who a lot of people that, in NFL media talk about him as he's the best coach ever. He had fucking Steve Young and Jerry
Montana.
Rice, Joe Montana and Jerry Rice.
He
running
literally
around.
he went from Montana to Steve
Steve
Young.
Young.
Like it's pretty
So,
nice. yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Parcells.
Let's be
Parcells
fair.
had some pretty good teams.
Yeah. Bill Parcells had some
Yeah.
great teams at the Giants or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, come
Yeah,
on, man.
Phil Sims.
Yeah.
The
He
retired
also had
number.
Lawrence Taylor.
Taylor.
and-
Lawrence Taylor was decent in his,
Yeah, he was
in
okay.
his prime.
Yeah, he was okay.
And out of
I'm
his
saying,
prime.
like, it's to think that you're not going to extend a Super Bowl winning coach. He's been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years. Is fucking nuts.
Yeah, no, that's
Always
fair.
going to get extended.
That's fair.
Personally, he doesn't play out his contract, but again, nobody will.
No, not many guys do. If you took out every coach that's ever played out his contract, there wouldn't be many.
Tomlin.
There's been a lot that
He's a
haven't.
cockroach.
nothing's killing that
And
guy.
that's more a symptom of the organization than of
Yeah.
Tomlin.
Yeah.
Well, they've done that with
Everyone.
what was the guy before?
Bill.
It's not. I want to say Cower. Was it Cower? Big Chin
Yeah.
in the Batman movie. Anyway, they've had like 3 coaches in the
Yeah.
history of their franchise.
Yeah,
Like that's just what they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, let's move on. I had a bit of a fun topic I want to talk about
Ooh.
this week. I saw this on I think it was NFL.com, something like that. They put up who are the most and least vulnerable division winners. So obviously the most vulnerable are teams that won their divisions last year that are most likely to not win it again.
Right.
And the least vulnerable are teams that won their division last year that are likely to win it again.
Right.
I wanted to start, and I'm going to give some credit after I've just shut on Nick Sirianni for 2 hours.
Felt like 2 hours.
I think the Philadelphia Eagles are a lock to win the NFC East next year.
Just looking at it, yeah, because the Giants are
I'd say
going to
so.
shit. I personally think the Cowboys are going to suck this upcoming year, and I'm not just saying that.
No. I
think they got fucked by the schedule pretty hard.
The Cowboys got annihilated. Like the whole NFC East actually has an incredibly tough schedule.
Yeah.
because they're just of who they're playing, and
Right.
and just for people out there that think, oh, it's so rigged, blah, blah. It's not rigged. It's a set
It's a
thing every
4-year
year.
rotation.
The worse you finish in the division, you play like 2 full divisions. You play obviously your division twice. You play 2 full divisions, one in the AFC, one in the NFC,
Yep.
and then you play like the same
Half.
seed as you
Yeah.
in other divisions.
Yeah.
That's how it works. It's a set thing. They can't chop and change it and make it worse. All they can do is make your schedule a little bit harder. And the Cowboys got annihilated down the back half of the schedule. But
from like week 12 to week 7.
Oh,
Did you see the stat?
it's horrendous.
It's
It's the
like-
worst 6-week.
I think it's 8
stat.
weeks in
Ever.
a row. They're playing teams that have won 11 games.
11
or
games.
more.
They're the
Yeah.
only
Crazy,
team
bro.
to ever play 8 teams in a row that have won 11 games.
That's
the year before.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
But again, like that, they have to play them at some point.
Well.
You can split them up during the season. They still got to play them.
No, yeah, that's right. But it's just
It's just the way
brutal.
it's stretched.
that's a
schedule.
murderer's row.
And
They would want to win a lot of games early if they want to be a player.
And every year there's going to be teams that we think are going to be really good and it doesn't click and they're a middle tier team and the standings change all the time. But at
And
this
injuries
point,
we never know.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
we play with injuries off at the Vault Studio.
If
But
we're looking at the NFC East, I think it'd be very hard for us not to repeat. The only thing that will kill us is injuries.
I think there's only 3 teams that are genuine locks to win their division again, and it's the Bills, the Texans, and probably the Eagles.
see, can I say something on the Texans? I think they're a little more vulnerable than what people think. I like them, but I think the Jags are coming a little bit. I might be wrong on that, but I think the Jags have done a lot of good things. I think defensively they're going to be a good defense next year, like top 10 sort of stuff.
Yep.
They've got a lot of good pieces, a lot of
They've got a
high
lot of talent
picks
on
on it.
defense. That's true.
I think Travis Hunter's going to end up playing DB. I think it's going to be a real help for them.
Yep.
And I think Lawrence is going to have a real back season.
Sorry, just on that Hunter point, JA. There's been videos of him running routes at the minicamp,
Yeah, I saw.
and it looks horrendous.
They'll
George
iron
could
that
run
out.
a better route.
They'll iron that out. I'm not worried about that.
I've seen all the clips on that, and at first I was like,
What are you saying fuck
interesting.
me for, bro?
He's got the that was a compliment.
Oh.
He
No, it
complimented.
wasn't. It was a backhanded fucking.
It was still a compliment. It was
It was definitely
backhanded one.
backhanded.
But
Take it.
If you took every receiver's route right now, you could find 3 or 4 that are terrible.
Yeah,
It's like that Saints rookie quarterback. They found that one throw that was just.
I'll be very
Disgusting.
surprised if he's not playing DB full time.
I think he'll play. I think he'll be.
I do agree with you for the Jags, but if we have, we can't just have 2 teams in this list. So I would say the Texans would be the 3rd team on this list that would be the most.
Most likely to.
The Bills,
Bills
yeah,
are-
for sure.
Yeah,
Miami are going to suck. The Jets may as well just give up, and Patriots will start moving forward, especially with Vrabel now.
yes, but I don't think
They
they're
won't
making
be
the
challenging the Bills for at least 5 years. But Baltimore, I could see a world where Cincy, if they get it together, they could
With
challenge.
Burrow, yep, that's
Yeah.
fair. But look, their offseason moves haven't pointed in that direction.
No, but they've got Joe Burrow. So
Yeah, exactly. You've always got a
That's the problem.
chance. It's like
Yeah.
the Bills. You got Josh Allen, you've always
You
got a chance. Yeah.
So I could see a world where the Bengals get it together.
It's not a shoe-in. I'm not confident. I'm not confident.
Not about the Ravens.
No, no.
Cleveland again should just give up, and Pittsburgh. I mean, yeah, they're stuck in mediocrity for the rest of their for fucking eternity. Basically,
They're prime for a regression.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, absolutely. They are.
You know what Pittsburgh are prime for? For another 10-7 season and to be a 7 seed and to lose their first round of the playoffs.
No, I don't reckon.
I don't
Maybe.
think they'll be 10-7. That might be like a 9-8.
They haven't even got their
8.
fucking quarterback situation sorted out yet.
Oh, I think
Rogers changes all of that.
I think Rogers is playing for him.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. Well, okay. Let's say that I agree.
I
with
think
you,
I
but
think
it's still gotta
Rogers
happen.
I
Yeah,
think
sure.
Rogers DK is better than Wilson and Pickett.
The jury's still out on that. I'm not getting sucked in by Rogers again. Forget it.
No, I definitely won't be sucked in by him. But
No,
if
I'm
he's
not,
playing,
but
if
I'm
he's playing
just-
for Pittsburgh, it's probably the best quarterback they've had for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, just if you're looking at it at right now, what Wilson offered and what Pickett offered, I think DK and Rogers are upgrades on what they have.
Sure.
Yes, that's all.
Yeah.
Obviously, because they've literally shit Pickett off for almost nothing.
Small
Yes.
hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Oh, small hands.
So Houston.
That's the other one.
That's the other Pickett. That's Pickett. No,
That was the
Pickens.
Eagles
You're
Pickett.
thinking of Pickens, the wide
Pickens.
receiver.
Yeah, I always say that. Yeah.
Just go back, please, Brock. Thank you. So yeah, Houston will repeat because the Colts, yeah, especially if they go with Richardson, forget it. Their season's in the toilet.
I think I
already
know
for
who
now.
your most vulnerable is.
Hang on a second. We've got
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
This
They
might
will
shock
will
everyone.
get it together, but I don't think they can challenge Houston. I think Houston's got better talent. Tennessee, they've got a lot to work out still, so they're going to be.
If Cam Ward's really good, though, you never.
Are we going to get your breakdown on every team on
Do you
every
want to
division?
fill us in?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Oh.
So, who's your most vulnerable? Because I want to.
Kansas City Chiefs. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm glad.
The Chiefs are 100% vulnerable. They're on the way down. I'm
The
telling
most
you now.
vulnerable.
Lock it in
Why do you think they're on the way down?
because
Because they're getting worse,
All-
or the other team's getting better.
both.
Both.
All those three. Look at the coaches for those three teams: Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, and now you've got who?
Pete Carroll.
Petey boy.
Yeah.
Petey Boy.
Yeah.
You got three proper coaches running three proper organizations now. No more fucking easy beats. No more sweeping the division anymore and getting cheap wins. It ain't happening anymore, man. You got to go into fucking Denver and beat Denver now. You got to go into Vegas and beat Vegas.
Denver, just quietly, will be the best defense in the league.
Yes, that's-
Actually, I'm not just quietly. They were statistically up until the last game last year the best defense last year.
Thank you for bringing. That was going to be my next point. And then the Chargers are probably going to be number 2 or number 3 fucking defense like they were last year.
Oh, no, they're probably set for a regression. A lot of talent went out.
Okay, fine, but they're still going to be a competent
They're
defense.
They're still going to be
They're still going to have to go into
borderline,
LA and beat
yeah.
them.
Yes, yeah,
Right?
not an easy beat. No,
And there's enough talent on all those teams. Even the Raiders on their day have got enough talent to challenge the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Especially with the way the Chiefs were playing
no, they
last
don't.
year. The way the Chiefs were playing last year, they were getting bailed out by the refs. They're winning one-score games, tin-assing one-score games everywhere. They won 10 games while less than one score. Come
Still
on.
got to win them.
No, the
Still got to
Raiders.
win them.
The Raiders do not have enough talent to beat the Chiefs. That
I
is
said
ludicrous.
On their day, they've to
No.
challenge.
They've
Well, actually,
improved
I think
to
the Raiders
challenge.
beat them last year.
To challenge,
They
I
did.
said.
Yeah, they've lucked into a.
Did they beat them? I think the Raiders beat
I
them.
said they've got enough talent to challenge the Chiefs, is what I said.
Yeah, maybe
And
for 2.5 quarters.
Do you think they're the most vulnerable division winner from last year?
In
No.
the AFC, for sure.
In the AFC, right up. All right, let's go down to the NFC because I think the most vulnerable team in the NFL.
Is the Lions?
No, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I would say the Rams is probably
The
most-
Rams. The Rams is
the
for
most-
sure.
Yeah,
vulnerable.
I'll take any of them. The NFC is wide. Other than the Eagles, the NFC is wide open. It might just
You're
be
on my Panthers.
love. It might be my love.
You're on my
for the-
Panthers, aren't you?
I'm definitely on the Panthers. There's
Let's
something.
go.
Something's pulling me. But
Nah,
just on Detroit,
I'm telling you, the Panthers, they are coming.
I think Detroit are too good a football team. I think they only got better in the offseason.
Yeah,
Purely
but
from being
so-
healthy, they're better.
So did
I think
every other
I think
team.
Minnesota will, unless JJ McCarthy
the coordinators. I forget the coordinators.
it does hurt, yeah, because they'll have to extend.
They hide
um,
within.
Yeah,
That is huge. They hide within.
Yeah.
The Eagles didn't that
Yeah.
year. Just
They did it that year. Yeah, you're right.
and that's what hurts you when you outsource and you
we learned our lesson this year where we
hide
promoted within.
Yeah,
For the
I think
outside.
that is a huge thing that cannot be unstated.
and I don't think
I agree.
I liked Minnesota's offseason, but it is so based off what McCarthy does.
Agreed.
But if he sucks, they suck.
But talent
Simple
wise,
as that.
they're very good.
They're
They
very good.
Beefed up both lines. They're not going to. Quarterback aside, they are a better team this year than what they were last year.
Yep.
But quarterback is the most important position in football.
I think Green Bay got a better chance.
Green Bay got better too.
Green Bay's. Don't get me started.
Even the Bears got so much better. Like
Yeah.
that division's just
That's murderer's row. That
like
division
if you
right
can
there.
split those teams into two other divisions, they're probably all playoff teams.
Yeah.
I think the best chance to dethrone the Bucks is Atlanta. Just looking
Nah.
at it.
No,
They're still got a terrible defense.
I'm with Scotty.
Panthers.
Something about the Panthers
Yep.
is
No.
calling me, and I can't
Timestamp
pop
it
my-
from 2 weeks ago. I want
Yeah.
someone timestamp it, and then when
Not
they're
Hobbit boy.
bloody 11-6, let's go.
Wow, that's fucking outrageous.
It's a terrible division.
They
Like,
get easy. They got an easier schedule. They're a complete team now with a very good coach that I rate highly. Canales is a very good coach.
Yeah.
And
The
I would
Saints
not
are gonna be
sleeping
crap.
on them.
what?
Yeah.
What?
the
like,
Saints should try and win no games. They should be
what-
trying to do a goose
exactly.
egg.
They're going to be sucking for whoever the quarterback is, whether
Yeah,
it's
Manning, probably.
Manning or if he decides. I don't think he will. He's earning so much money in NIL. Why would he leave? Just play his full college
To
career.
go and play where his grandfather
Did
played.
it,
That's
interesting,
why he- that's why-
interesting,
Potentially, that's a good point.
That's
a
why
good
he
point.
will do it.
Yeah.
interesting thing I saw today. You just triggered my mind, and I know
Mm.
we were talking about Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy's salary last year was the 32nd highest paid college quarterback.
Wow.
That's insane.
So what was he getting paid? Like $80? What was he?
No, it's like 750 grand or something.
Oh my
He was like-
God.
he was the- he was
32nd highest paid
Mi-
college quarterback. with
Mr.
NIL money.
Irrelevant. Mr. Irrelevant,
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
He's made
Great
two Super
story.
Bowls, though.
Great
Good on him.
story.
And he got paid. Good for him.
Rams. Let's talk about Rams. It's all based on Stafford,
Yeah.
and we know Stafford is very down one year, up another year.
I just think the rest of the division is just.
They got much
obviously
better.
Seattle. I'm a Seattle homer. but-
Seahawks got much better though.
Yeah.
Much better.
Well, it's like you can't get rid of your 1A receiver and your quarterback in the same year and replace them and then say you got better. Like
I think Darnold's better than Gino though.
we
He's
don't
way
know.
better.
We don't know. Darnold.
We'll find out.
Darnold.
Bottom
Darnold's
line
had
is they've got
5
Jalen Milrow. So
Don't get me started.
Nah, Darnold's way
Jay-
better. He's an upgrade. for sure.
2027 Jalen Milrow unlocked MVP.
too far away. Too far away. 2024.
No. But like I genuinely think we got better, but the quarterback's a huge question mark. Arizona had a phenomenal draft and a very good offseason.
Mm.
And 49ers have done everything right, and they were just injury plagued.
Yeah, if Niners are healthy, I think Niners win that division.
And yeah,
They're very talented.
Agreed.
Great coach.
I don't think they win the divisions. I think I don't know who wins the division next year. To be honest, would I be shocked if Arizona somehow win it with 11 wins?
If
No.
it's injuries off, San Fran wins.
I think San Fran are the
They
most
lost a lot of
talented
talent,
team
though,
and
as
the
well.
easiest schedule.
Yeah, the easiest schedule and the most rest.
Yes, I
That,
think, yeah.
that they are huge.
The NFL has really looked after them. Not with the teams they're playing because
Yeah.
they have to play those teams, but just giving them a little bit of a leg up in a couple of
Yeah,
spots to help
yeah.
them out, just a notch. But yeah, no, I think least vulnerable for me is the Eagles. I think they'll win the NFC. I don't think NFC East. I think anyone will be good in the NFC East. I don't think even Washington will be that good.
Nah, they'll
I
have
think they'll have a bit of a regression. Then they'll
Second year.
bump up the next year.
yeah, sure.
And then the other team for me is the Bucks. I just think that the most vulnerable I think is the Bucks.
Why they got that new coach? No,
I don't know. Mike Evans is getting old. He's an
Well,
old wide receiver.
Yeah, they drafted in Booker.
Yeah.
A gun.
maybe.
They've got that young running back.
McMillan,
They've got a
Bucky
top O-line.
Urban.
They've probably got a top 5 O-line, if not top 3.
Yeah.
I think one of their O linemen's are one of the best tackling in
Worth.
football, and then it drops off. Yeah,
The other-
just a
the other-
minute.
what's the other
I always
tackle's name?
forget.
Yeah. I got you.
Lewis, what's the other tackle's name? He's a gun, man.
No,
We'll
they're
see.
good. They got Baker too.
Yeah, no,
I-
I like.
Don't
Baker
get
a
me
lot.
wrong. Tampa Bay probably will win the division, but this is something like you said about Carolina.
And they haven't had a back-to-back division winner there for I think Tampa Bay were the first time in like 15 years they've had a back-to-back
Yeah,
division
The
winner.
last two.
last two,
years,
yeah. It just happens like that.
NFC East has been like that too. It's been one of the other for like
Yeah,
20
well,
years.
but I think it's always been like Eagles, Cowboys, and the Giants have schmeckled their way in there every now and
Schmeckled.
again. Just
I
schmeckled
think-
it in.
I think
One
Philly-
RG3 Washington year, like it's always Eagles and Cowboys. I don't think the Cowboys are nearly as good as the Eagles.
I think Philly are a shoe in, and the rest are in danger. To be honest,
Sure.
would you be shocked if, like, I know the Lions are better on talent, but would you be shocked if the Bears beat them and Packers beat them this year?
No.
No, not at all.
And
I
then
think
they're
they're all
game
so
one.
good.
Yeah, and then the Bears got an easier schedule, and somehow they've
Yeah.
got 3 teams with 11 wins or 10 wins, or
If they told me at the start of this season, hey, JA, you can only watch one division's games. That's it. 4 teams are the only games you can watch. It's the NFC North.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm picking them in a heartbeat because
Yeah.
I think they're all going to be not only good,
or the AFC
but,
West.
but in AFC West is good too. But
Yeah.
they're just going to be good teams and enjoyable. Like there's a lot of
West just to see
excitement.
the Chiefs lose. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, you better be ready to
Old
eat
habits.
humble pie if they don't. You and Tom Arthur,
No, that's fine. I'm happy.
you are. You're always happy to eat humble pie.
I am.
Yeah, you're always happy to ping those nipples out and eat
Amen.
humble pie.
Amen.
All right, that's it. I got
we've got a
Olympics.
couple more.
So this is the quick one we can just go over. The NFL announced that they're going to allow NFL players to compete in the Olympics at flag football.
Yeah.
And I personally can't wait for, the backup cornerback from the Crew who's been pulled down from another state to play for them with the promise of playing in an Australian team
Oh, wow.
to line up against Jay Jitters and just
Yeah.
get his ass kicked.
I
It's
just
going to be
can't
so
wait.
fun.
For a particular coach to lose it on the sidelines and have an actual officiating crew ping him, and not just out of the stadium, but out of the country.
He'll be in jail.
Yeah.
He'll never leave. He'll be in Guantanamo
This is
Bay.
going to be worse than when the 92 Dream Team came in and just.
I think Scotty put a birth
Almost
today.
everyone.
So the only team entering the Olympics
Yeah,
for flag
breaking
football
news.
is the US.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a bloodbath.
give him a gold medal and that'll be that.
But also, it's kind of fun. Like the Olympics in the NBA is they're NBA players,
Yeah.
and it's fun. And then the other
To be
teams have
fair-
started to catch up now after a long time. But
No, to be fair, Europe's been really good at basketball for a long time.
it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah. It's going to start in a very dark place for
Personally, I
every
think
other
taking 2
country.
steps back, flag football should not be in the Olympics anyway. It's
That's
Oh.
good exposure for the game.
It's a fucking rub. It's not an Olympic sport. Give me a break.
Well,
Oh, it's better than breakdancing.
yeah. If we want to start
Yeah, I agree. It is.
pulling out Olympic sport, there's like baseball can't get in there a couple of years
No,
ago. But
baseball shouldn't be.
breakdancing
It shouldn't be in the Olympics either.
You don't think team sport should be in the Olympics?
No, I'm not
No,
saying
team sport's the best
sport
part of the
shouldn't
Olympics.
be, but I don't think baseball should be. I'm
What?
like happy with basketball to be.
Baseball should be in the Olympics.
Why? Why do you? think
Absolutely.
I think the games go for too long. Maybe make it 6 innings
The
or
format of
something.
the game is too long.
It's only
And
7.
I don't think enough countries play it. Like it's very like
What do you mean?
isolated.
Every South American.
I mean,
and-
it's isolated around the Americas. I don't think
And
it's
then
not-
Asia.
huge.
it doesn't have a big European following.
Yeah,
No,
that's,
you're
that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Australia are like the 6th best country at baseball.
Yeah.
It's like not that Australia are bad. It's just that not many countries play.
Play.
All right.
That's kind
Push,
of
push.
Yeah, the tush
The
push
vote.
vote.
So
That's
It's going to happen
happening.
in the next few days.
we probably by like tomorrow morning our time we'll know.
Yep.
Because they're voting on it like today.
Well, let's
So-
just give our. I think it's not going to pass. I think the tush push will be allowed in the NFL.
Nah, it's gone. I think Goodell wants it out because of injuries. I think he
Yeah.
wants it out.
That's. I've made my point on this really clear. The Eagles have done great with the tush push. I'm not sliding them for what they've done. It was within the rules. Other teams have tried to do it and struggled with it.
Mm.
I just don't. I hate the fact that offensive players can do something and defense aren't allowed to counter it. That's what I don't like about.
I think that's what, if it does get voted out, it will be an amendment to the rule
Yes.
of a situation of you can't push someone
Yeah,
out.
I think
That's just
that's
the run,
that's
yeah.
the probably the happy medium there, that they keep the tush push in and they just stop assisting the,
You can't assist the
ball
quarterback.
carrier.
Yeah, you can't run behind him and
Um,
get 3 guys to push him forward.
Personally,
and
for
obviously
me-
you need 5 guys to push him forward. as you said,
Oh.
that's true.
Personally, for me, it's just an optics thing. I just watching a team line up on a 3rd and 1, and you know they got 2 chances to get it, and yeah, just watching a rugby scrum. For me, it's just the optics, and it takes a little bit of the strategic element out of football.
Well,
As a purist, that's sort of
when I think of the tush push, my favorite tush push moment was when the Jaguars ran it and handed it off to EDN running on the outside.
Yeah.
Not saying the tush push isn't a glamorous thing, but the first thing I think about when I think tush push and all the times I've seen it is, I remember the time the Jags did it and didn't run it and handed it off, and because that was cool. It was football. I just think teams, you can quarterback sneak. I just don't assist them. Or as I've said before, let the defense line up 5 guys and have linebackers behind them, and then make it a rugby scrum.
that makes it an
and I
injury
think
issue.
the defense people will get hurt,
I think
and the
someone will
defense
die,
would start
personally.
actually destroying them. Like they wouldn't want to run it anymore. So just adjust the rule, and then I think move.
It'll definitely go out because I think Goodell wants it out.
No, I think it would get modified.
I think
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the assisting the runner part, it will be.
I
out
think,
all the
yeah.
time.
And I don't know it will happen this year. I think it might happen next year.
Yeah, that's fair.
Sure.
Yeah,
If the conversation started, there's enough people. All these GMs are like, "Oh no, we don't care about it." You do, because you have to have enough teams to actually. It doesn't just one team can't just go, "We hate it," and then everyone goes, "Oh no, we're cool with it," and then it gets into this sort of level.
26 needs to vote.
Yeah,
exactly.
For the vote.
So enough teams have said
26 to 32 teams. Is that right?
Yeah,
I didn't know
75% of it.
it's a lot.
I think it might get, like, let's just say hypothetically, it might get 21 this year, and then it will go to, let's just say 28 next year, and then it will be modified so you can't assist the runner, and it'll be a happy medium, like a Power O QB sneak or something.
Yeah, 100%.
I think-
and I'm fine with that.
Personally, this is a little bit of a hot take. I think if the Eagles weren't as good at it as they are, this wouldn't even be a talking point.
100%.
It wouldn't even be a
That's
talking
why.
point.
None of this stuff happens because like teams suck at it.
Everyone's just shitty because we're better at it than everyone.
To be fair, Green Bay are the biggest advocate against it, and their percentage of stopping it's the highest out of everyone.
Yeah, they are. That's
Right.
It's accurate.
Okay.
So it's a
all
little
that,
bit
like-
deeper. It's a little bit deeper than, oh, you can't stop us doing it. The team that is the best at stopping it, we're like, oh, this is shit play. Get rid
And
of it.
some teams like their quarterback and want them to throw the football, so they don't want to do that with them. All right, let's get to Brocky's corner.
Here we go, boys. I've been put on probation for Brocky Corner.
Who did that?
You've been put on probation for reading.
Yes. Okay, so I'll try not to read this one anymore.
Okay.
So make sure, brought to you by Kelly Clothing, at Kelly Clothing on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure you go like.
Much better
The boys
plug.
learning.
Got a couple of things
boy.
coming. Got a couple more models in the back there. Georgie and Scotty Boy. Got a couple of shirts coming your way, boys. So make sure you keep an eye out for them.
What fuck me for?
Don't have the rig for it.
Come on, Jack.
Exactly right.
Look at that.
Let me
My
just-
skin sags upwards.
Let me just work my magic on the screen here to get up what I want to show for Brocky's Corner this week. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
Maybe
able
you
to
should
do
have had
it.
a prep ready to go.
You've
I tried to do it
literally
before.
brought nothing for the entire show, and you can't even get your own Brocky corner up and running.
Yeah,
Scotty, just-
yeah, we're struggling here, boys.
But
Let
to
the
be
kid live, bro.
to be all honest, what I don't get a t-shirt. Are you
remember,
shaming?
remember in the old Bugs Bunny cartoons when he used to try and flex and his arm used to go down like that?
That's
you.
what I just said.
Oh, it's not coming up on the screen, but Georgie, this one's for you, mate.
Oh, here we go.
Airbnb are doing a little promotion with Patrick Mahomes where you get a chance to win a Sunday fun day
Oh,
at an Airbnb in Kansas City. Guess who book will be able to play beer pong against Mahomes, challenge him to a football and golf games, and eat barbecue from Mahomes' favorite spot.
Can I just beat him up and fuck his wife instead?
Yes, if possible, yeah.
Time
I've already
tonight.
entered you into this one. I'm into the Sabrina one. If I win that, you can come as well with that with me to that one.
Sabrina, I'll just take her away from all this, man.
You'll save her. Captain Save-A-Ho over there.
Jeez.
That's Brocky Corners, boys. Make sure you go
Thank
like
you,
the page.
Rory. So you could win if you actually won it, would you go?
Yeah, so I can beat him up.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, hey, Patrick, it's so nice to meet you.
Absolutely not.
So
Hi,
nice to meet
hi,
you.
Mr. Mahomes.
Oh my God, Patrick, it's so great to meet
Big,
you.
big
I
fan.
actually-
Big
I
fan.
do a podcast, actually.
Listen,
Don't
here,
listen to
Kermit.
it.
Listen here, Kermit.
Jesus.
You have to get stuck into on Twitter first. On TikTok
Yeah,
first. Just send him some
just
direct
message him,
messages.
We know I'm the direct message king on TikTok. We know that was all.
All right, that is it for us this week. We'll go back to something else next week. Hopefully the news keeps flowing in and we
Yeah,
can just
true.
keep
We'll
talking about
probably-
all the good stuff.
Probably rattle off another top 10.
Yeah, we'll get to a top 10. We had
Top
a couple
10
of good
suggestions. Bring
suggestions.
'em in, bring 'em
We
in.
had a couple of good ones, so we'll
Yeah.
Oh,
have-
cool.
so
We had a couple
everyone
that
sent them
we
in.
already got loads.
Appreciate it. Thanks to Brocky on the ones and twos tonight. Thanks to Scotty. Thanks to the big spanakopter over here. Thanks mainly for him showing us his nipples this week because I've been living in an alternate universe.
He's gonna hate and lover's gonna love, man.
Yeah, I just to read, I'm a lover.
Yeah.
But
Very well.
I cannot allow that to go unnoticed.
No, that's fine. That's good. I'm happy.
All right, peace out, everyone. See you next week.
Ciao.
Peace out, everyone.
Peace out.
Thank you.
I hope the Eagles lose on a call.